back to Food Ka Mood baking series. Today I'm going to show you how to make cinnamon rolls at home. So in a large bowl add 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Then add half a cup of sugar and half teaspoon of salt. Salt is to balance the taste with the sugar so it won't be too sweet, and you should mix well. Be sure to mix that well. In 1 cup of warm milk, be sure that it's warm, add half a teaspoon of yeast. And yeah, if you don't have instant yeast, like I'm not using instant yeast because I didn't have, so I had to set it aside for 5 to 7 minutes. But if you have instant yeast, you don't have to set it aside, so that's completely fine. So in your flour, in your basically dry ingredients, add 1/3 cup of unsalted butter, and I struggle doing that. So never mind. Let's move on, and we have to actually, you have to actually, whatever. Mix the butter into the dough with your hands, and don't use melted butter at all. Just use normal softened, unsalted butter. You get me? Okay, yeah. Just incorporate that into the dough until it's well combined. You have to mix in the butter just like this, just like how I did it, and you have to do it. Then add your milk with yeast in it, then mix your wet and dry ingredients together until it forms a dough. So now you mix in the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients using a stand mixer or a hand mixer, and this hand mixer, I tell you, was so bad. It kept on shaking. But like, if you don't have a stand mixer or hand mixer or whatever, you can just use your hands. And don't bother the angle, it's just so bad, but you get the idea. The dough is literally mixed. So before you set your dough aside, you have to sprinkle some flour on your work surface and knead your dough for about 5 to 7 minutes, or until your dough is smooth and ready to set aside. Your dough should look like this after you have kneaded it about for like 5 to 7 minutes, and it's ready to set aside. Oh yeah, before setting it aside, fold the dough to its center to form a ball so that it rises better, you know. Grease the bowl with butter or oil, but I use butter. You can use oil as well. Doesn't matter. You just have to grease the bowl. And then you have to plop in your dough to set aside for 2 hours. Let it rise. Let it have its good night beauty sleep. Now, for the cinnamon sugar filling, add 1 cup of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon powder, and mix it really well and set aside while waiting for your dough to rise. After your dough has rised, you have to knead it for like 2 minutes and get the air bubbles out of it. And yeah, roll out the dough with a rolling pin into a rectangular shape and add 2 tablespoons of softened butter and spread it like really evenly. Make sure you get every single corner of it, and then you sprinkle your cinnamon sugar. Cover the surface of your dough just like this, and then tightly roll your dough into a roll, and then you cut it into evenly sized pieces. And then yeah, cut them into even and similar pieces. Now grease your baking tray with butter or oil, and then evenly place, I've said evenly so many times, but yeah, evenly place your cinnamon rolls in the baking tray. And we made a mistake here. We literally placed the rolls very close to each other, and then later on we realized that they have to rise, but then we didn't take a clip of that. So you will see some abrupt change in the next 20 to 25 seconds, so don't mind that at all. Thank you. This was the abrupt change I was talking about. Yeah. So, yeah, bake this at 150 degrees Celsius to 30 to 45 minutes. Now, for your cream cheese glaze, you're gonna add 200 grams of cream cheese in your bowl and mix until light and fluffy. This is what it should look like after you've been mixing it for about 2 minutes. To this, you add half a cup of powdered sugar, then add 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence. Mix, mix, mix. Add 3 tablespoons of milk, but if you want it more thinner, you can add a bit more. So add until your desired consistency. Over here, the glaze was too thick for me, so I added a bit more of milk, and that is just right. Take out your rolls, and then you have to cool them down for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then after that, you pour the cream cheese glaze on top of it. They will look just like this, and oh my god, I'm not even kidding, these are the best rolls and you have to try them. They are the closest I've ever gotten to cinnamon, and like they're so fluffy and so soft. You can make them with such less ingredients, and that's so crazy, and you'll get similar taste just as cinnamon, and that's just amazing. From now, I'm going to make my own cinnamon at home, and you should too. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Bye.